What's going on, y'all? Back with another reaction video. Today we got Zach Wilson's stats are kind of a total lie. Another episode from AlexRollinsNFL. I like his channel, man. I like some of these informative NFL channels. Y'all let me know some more. I can't think of them. I just watched Thinking Football. Just discovered him not too long ago. So Alex Rollins been on my radar for a while. He makes some really good, really informative videos. Like his style, it's all cool, and I like both of theirs. You know, different but informative at the end of the day. So it says Zach Wilson's stats are kind of a total lie. What I'm going to assume is he's going to say Zach Wilson is actually a pretty nice quarterback. I felt that way at one point about Sam Darnold. I feel like he was running around for his life at times. Sometimes the mistakes would be on him for sure, but it's flashes of talent that I see from Zach Wilson, and I'm like, man, just give this guy an offensive line. He'll figure it out. You know, it's really that simple. It's not that simple, but it's really that simple if you get me. So y'all hit that like button for me. We'll go ahead and jump into this. Definitely looking forward to see what his take is on Zach Wilson and you know, the future of the Jets. Who was the receiver didn't they pick up a receiver in this draft? Y'all comment down below. I can't remember. I know they just drafted DJ Moore last year, but if I'm not mistaken, they just picked up a receiver in this draft. It's so many players, man, that I've been watching. It's so hard to keep up with everybody. So, y'all forgive me. I like this better without this light. All right. Okay.
Zach Wilson is shaping up to be one of the most difficult evaluations I'll make for the entire year. Nobody can deny he and the Jets struggled mightily during his rookie season, going just 4-13, and statistically he finished at the bottom of the league in nearly every category. Speed rounds. He finished last in completion percentage, QBR, QB rating, on target percentage. He had the highest percentage of bad throws, most pressured, bottom 3 in sacks and yards per attempt. To be honest, anywhere you look statistically, his rookie season was one of the biggest disasters nobody could have possibly hoped for, and bad statistics do reflect bad.
And then they had a defensive-minded head coach, so
there are exceptions.
It's not always the best thing for offense, but
rage on into eternity, and Wilson is Exhibit A.
I feel like most defensive-minded head coaches like to run the ball, like that's their key bread and butter. And what they just had two rushers who had didn't they just have like two really good rushers, if I'm not mistaken? Two good running backs. And didn't they just draft another running back? I can't wait to I'm gonna do videos of like going through each team's draft class. I can't wait to do that because I forgot so many players, man. Like, it's been a good 2 months now since the draft, and I'm still not done with the videos. Oh gosh.
Miserable first
but
half,
yeah, I got some more videos in mind that I'm gonna end up doing.
His second half film was extremely promising. Despite season-ending injuries to left tackle Mekhi Becton, wide receiver 1 and 2 Corey Davis and Elijah Moore, Wilson managed to display high-end traits, improved technique, and a developed approach, even with a roster full of backups. Now the Jets have reloaded in the draft with receivers,
Garrett Wilson, okay, then they got a tight end from Ohio State, and Breece Hall. Thank you, Alex.
Can Zach Wilson show that the development we see on film is a definitive building block for him moving forward, or are the nerds right and Wilson will continue to epically flop? Real quick, before we answer those questions, I want to thank this week's sponsor, the homies at Built Bar. Built Bars are an energy bar that wears a ton of different hats. It's packed with 17 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, it's gluten-free, no preservatives, keto-friendly, and just 130 calories, and all of that is not even the best part. Built Bar comes at you with 18 different, unique flavors that each basically taste like candy bars, and every bar is wrapped in a surprisingly delicious layer of chocolate. I can't stop eating the salted caramel and coconut flavors, and trust me, a Built Bar is the perfect in-between meal snack, perfect for giving you what you need at the gym, and even good enough to eat as dessert. To check them out, Built Bar ships boxes right to your doorstep.
W ad.
A mix box which has a bunch of different flavors, customized
most replayed.
Exactly what you want, or you can
oh, this spot here says most replayed because that's past the ad.
Just use my coupon code Alex.
I'll let him make you with the ad. We almost done.
In the second half
there we
of the
go.
season, Wilson's stats improved, but ever so slightly, not in any way reflective of how he improved on film. A major issue in the first few months
Oh,
of
that
the
was a
season
good pick.
the lack
Who
of
that, Shaq
a plan
Thompson?
he had before and after the snap. The quarterback needs to have contingency plans in place in case his first or second reads aren't open, so he can still operate within the timing of the play. That means your footwork, eyes, body, and arm have to all be on the same kinetic chain, ready to fire the moment you deem your first receiver isn't open, and that's something Wilson struggled with early on as he learned the playbook and pro-style offense. On a given play, one of the best ways to tell if he had a plan, or if he didn't and was freestyling, was his back foot when he got to the top of his drop. When that back foot hits the last step of the drop, that establishes the depth of the pocket, and any more movement backwards risks you running into defensive ends, and also affects the timing of when your receivers come open, plus your ability to drive the ball since you're not...
Ooh, it's crazy how he pointed that out, because look, it's gonna be hard for him to throw with this front foot elevated. It's gonna come off a little awkward. You gotta have his foot flat and planted. Yeah. I like the details.
The timing of when your receivers come open, plus your ability to drive the ball since you're not moving forward. When Wilson's back foot hits and he's moving up, he has a plan and knows how he'll attack the defense no matter what happens after the snap. But when it moves back even a little, it messes everything else up. Down 7 with 3 minutes left in the fourth, the Dolphins show an all-out blitz with 0 deep defenders, which means if they bring everybody, they'd have one more rusher than the Jets have in protection. But when Denzel Mims motions inside, the defense starts to drop out, so Wilson knows he'll have a little more time to operate. He has this under route that's going to sneak open later in the down, and when he hits the top of his drop, he sees his first 2 reads are covered, and that the ends are screaming around the edge. Instead of hitching upwards, as QBs are taught to do when their first read isn't open, he takes his little extra step backwards, which throws off his timing, brings him closer to the pressure, forces him to rush his movement up into this...
I see what Alex saying. I see.
Up his reads. That back foot was the key to his success or failure.
They did a good job defending that, though, because I thought Mims would be open. I definitely thought Denzel was going to be open. Because right here,
top of his drop, he
ran out to try to, get a little chip. Who is this? 29, 25? Oh, Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard was on him.
And at the
immediately. I got you. And then I think it shifted. It wasn't even 0 coverage anymore because you got a deep safety, and then you got somebody here who's double coverage. So the coverage kind of switched.
Instead of hitching upwards,
they did a good job defending it.
When their first read isn't open, he takes his little extra step backwards, which throws off his timing, brings him...
Oh, Denzel would have been... Oh, yeah, Denzel was open right there.
Up into this clean pocket and messes up his reads. That back foot was the key to his success or failure, and told us the difference between when he was reading the field well and had a plan, or when he had no idea what he was looking at. This Texans play came in Week 12, and in my opinion was the turning point in the season. Wilson's favorite concept is dagger, which can either be run with a straight clear out to take the corner and near safety out of the picture to open up the inside, or more of a crossing route, which becomes a more viable threat to catch the ball, with a dig route behind it. Wilson is really good at ripping the dig right out of the break, but when he didn't have a plan and his footwork wasn't precise, he looked lost. When his back foot hits, he's staring at the Mike linebacker.
I said DJ Moore earlier. I mean Elijah Moore.
Now, he takes the extra little step back, making it too late to throw, and that's the end of that. But when he came back to the sideline,
good job by Elijah right there, ad-libbing, trying to.
That's when I saw real growth and development on film, and led me to believe there's hope yet. On 4th and
make space for the quarterback.
The Jets
get
are
open.
again running dagger. Not only does Wilson's back foot not drift, allowing him to play perfectly on time, but he even executes a full field read showing he's processing a ton of information. The Jets add a little wrinkle to run the more vertical version of dagger, knowing that same linebacker Wilson read before will now have to carry it. He actually starts to his left to see if Braxton Berrios can sit down for the first, but when he sees the other linebacker shading towards him, he flashes his eyes to the mic while he's dropping, doesn't hop back at the top of his drop, hitches up and rips a dime, which looks like it wasn't the greatest throw accuracy-wise, but I believe he places it low and inside just in case the mic backer falls off the vertical. He began playing more confidently, more frequently, and repeatedly demonstrated one of his greatest skills, which is attacking the middle of the field with anticipation. Usually, younger quarterbacks struggle to read the middle and tend to attack outside the numbers since it's easier to read areas of the field where there are fewer defenders. Attacking the middle requires you to read coverages and the leverage of defenders, play with precise timing and within structure, and Wilson's shown he can do all of that consistently. When you're able to do each of those things, it raises your capacity to play the position since you're able to read multiple receivers and get through your progression. Wilson knows that the Buccaneers have a little tell in their defense where he can read the corner to the wide side of the field. They love to keep a deep safety in the middle to either play 3 deep cover 3 or cover 2 invert where the corner traps the flat and the safety rolls over the top. So the Jets have a cover 2 beater in smash, which is a corner and flat, and a cover 3 beater in dagger. Wilson eyes the tell after checking the safety and sees he's playing deep, so it's cover 3. And while he could probably hit the flat route to convert for the first, he comes backside to the dagger route and throws a strike with pressure closing in.
That was nice.
After he became more comfortable, he learned how to change the tempo in his drop to attack windows that wouldn't otherwise be there. So when he sees the weak safety peeking over to the other side of the field, instead of taking a normal 3-step drop, he speeds up knowing he has just a little bit of time and rips it in. Some of his statistical struggles could be related to the fact the Jets coaching staff put their full-blown offense onto his shoulders without any training wheels whatsoever. Wilson frequently used can calls, which is where the Jets give him 2 plays in the huddle, usually a pass and a run, and if he sees something in the defense, he'll can, which switches the offense to the second play. He sees the safety Mike Edwards one-on-one on Berrios, so he cans to the second play, then throws a perfect pass to let Berrios wheel into the end zone. Another reason for optimism is how he deciphers defenses pre-snap even when they try to fool him, and how aggressive with conviction he was when he attacked. The Dolphins put a corner on each receiver, and usually this kind of defensive presentation with him this close to the receivers tells the QB they're in man. However, when Berrios motions across and the corner doesn't follow, that's a zone tell, and the way they rock and roll their safeties is another zone tell as well. Now the Dolphins have a safety on a receiver, which would be a huge man coverage mismatch for him. So Wilson knows instead of playing man coverage, the Dolphins are playing cover 3 zone, which has this corner to bail deep with his eyes on the quarterback, and watch Wilson's footwork as he attacks the weakness in cover 3, which is routes under this corner, with perfect timing, not hesitating even a bit. This timing he began to show later in the season is evidence of a few things. A quarterback who understands the system, the coverage, and the timing of the play.
That was a good hit.
When you don't have your top receivers in Corey Davis,
But he playing with them now. I think that's Jordan Whitehead.
Backups one-on-one outside and
Just picked him up.
You need to play with great timing, and Wilson showed he could do just that. I think his numbers suffered because of that lack of surrounding talent, but it would be foolish to completely ignore those numbers since they do reflect his on-field play. The question is, how much do they reflect it? And in my opinion, what Wilson showed through his film is that he is a promising young QB who's poised to take his next step. Of course, the NFL isn't just about high-level play, but consistent high-level play, and I'm worried the Jets, who are one of the least consistent franchises in the league, won't be able to create that consistent environment around him for him to blow up in year 2. They do have a stable of new talent pouring in, with some old studs coming back. The film that Wilson put out there shows he has high-end potential, and if he keeps playing with great footwork, an uncanny knack for attacking the middle of the field, and continues to operate pre-snap at a high level, Zach Wilson and the New York Jets are about to take off.
I like it, but I think they need to better the offensive line, personally. Like, they did a good job with drafting, who they drafted as far as getting him more weapons, which is good, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and check see what they did to address the offensive line. But y'all hit the like button for me. Also subscribe, drop a comment down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.